And what happens in this passage will help us to understand what hinders us from living a limitless life. Well, first thing I want you to see is when you live a limitless life, don't miss this, you must question the intent and motive of those around you. When Zechariah sees this man with a tape measure, he says to him, "Where are you going? Why are you here? What are you doing around me? What is your purpose for being around? Why are you in my space?" Yeah. Sometimes your limits are because of who you have around you. Yeah. Why are you around me? Some of you are so busy trying to be buddy with everybody that you don't ask the question of people, why are you around me? Why are you here? That's not being antisocial. That's not being paranoid. But listen, I'm trying to find out, why are you around me? Are you a contributor to my destiny, or are you a detractor from my destiny? Y'all don't want to hear me today. I don't have time for, is there anybody here today who's making up in your mind, I don't have time for foolishness, I don't have time for games, I don't have time for tricks, there's too much at stake, I have too much that's going on in my life to settle for folk who want to hopscotch through life. I have a place I'm trying to get to, and if you can't help me, don't try to block me. Anybody here today can declare, I don't have time for mess. I don't have time for junk. I don't have time for trivial, minute, small, irrelevant things. I know how limited we become. See, I know how limited we become based on who we are around. You got to check your crowd. Check your crowd. Help your neighbor. Tell them, check your crowd. Check your crowd. Check your crowd. If you want to know your future forecast or where you'll be in 5 years, check the ones that you are around. Because if you're always hanging around broke people, the forecast, I'll tell you right now, the forecast is broke in your future. If you're always hanging around mumbling and grumbling and complaining people, how many know that mumbling and grumbling, it is contagious? It has a way of catching. It has a way of being passed down. But understand this. Hear me. If you are the smartest one in your circle, you need to change your circle. Oh, they like that. See, the reason why we don't like that is because we want to pride ourselves with being the one who knows everything in the group that we're in. But if you are the one who knows everything in your group, you are still limited. All right, let me break it down like this. If you are the sharpest one in the drawer, you need to change the drawer you're in. In other words, you need to surround yourself, watch this, not with people who are where you are. You need to surround yourself with people who are where you are trying to go. The reason why it's hard for us to grab hold of this is because we've become accustomed to living limited lives. But when you have others in your circle who know more than you know, have more than you have gone further than you are right now, what happens is instead of us allowing that to be motivation, we become intimidated by it. If I'm looking to have more in my pocket, in my portfolio, then I need to begin to surround myself with people who have strong portfolios. You know, we love to tell people, I'm with you. We're down like 4 flat tires. But listen, I understand, when we're down like 4 flat tires, we are stationary. Matter of fact, we can't go anywhere. If all 4 tires are flat, we can't go anywhere. I need somebody who has some air in their tires, who are going somewhere. Look at your neighbor and say, we can't be down like that.
We can't be down like that.
So understand.
I'm gonna need you to have some fix
You
and
got to
flat or
question
something.
the intent and the motive of those who are around you. Who do you run with? Who do you associate with? If you're always surrounding yourself with those who are downing education, those who are always bad-mouthing, bettering yourself educationally, those who are saying, you don't take all that, all you need is just your Bible, listen, you will begin to have that same mindset. And listen, if you're going to achieve and go further, even in this institution, there are some people that you have to learn to turn off and disconnect from, because they will try to derail your destiny here at this institution. So watch this. Do you run with wolves? Or do you soar with eagles? Because see, when you run with wolves, you learn how to howl. Make a lot of noise. But see, when you fly with eagles, you learn how to soar. Wolves can only see what's at eye level. Eagles sees what's at another level, at a whole nother level. And can I help somebody today? I'm moving on to my next point. But I need to help you to understand. People are afraid of wolves. But really they ought to desire to be like eagles. Because wolves, watch this, wolves are at a vulnerable place. Because wolves are at a place where any and everybody can be. But eagles have the ability to rise above where everybody else is. Oh, okay. You'll get that going home. Second thing I want you to see is when you live a limitless life, you must be willing to invest in good relationships and willing to release bad ones. Deposit in good relationships and withdraw from bad ones. As you grow, the fewer people you take with you. You will discover that as you grow, as you mature in God, as God begins to move even more in your life, you will begin to discover that your circle will begin to become smaller. Did you notice that when you had absolutely nothing, everybody was around? Because there are people who love to hear you always asking them, will you do this for me? Can you do this for me? Can you help me out? But watch this. Once you start getting on your feet, once you begin to get some strength in your own legs and you're able to start standing on your own, you will start discovering that some of those same ones who were always around you start moving back from you. Watch this. Watch this. Understand. Everybody can't live on a mountaintop. Because everybody cannot handle the altitude. Everybody cannot handle the altitude. Everybody can't handle the altitude. Everybody cannot function at the altitude of where you're going. I'm trying to help somebody. Everybody that's talking about next level cannot handle next level. Because next level means that there are some things that you must be willing to go through in order to get to where you're trying to get to. Those who talk about going to the highest peaks understand they have to program themselves. They have to ready themselves. They have to prepare themselves to go to another level. Listen, it's more than just saying I've gone up Stone Mountain. Are y'all with me here? Going up Stone Mountain builds your legs, but it does not really build your lungs. Not for the highest of peaks. Watch this. One thing, I'm not a mountain climber, but what I have discovered is this: that the climate is always different the higher you go. At the bottom of the mountain, it looks one way. But at the top of the mountain, it's a whole different look. Watch this. It could be the same season, But because you're going higher, the scenery changes. Now my question to you is, what kind of scenery are you looking for? Are you looking for just valley kind of scenery, or are you looking for mountaintop scenery? Because there are some things that on the mountaintop, watch this, that you can only imagine while you're in the valley, but you've got to go through some things and be willing to go through some things in order to see it for yourself. Are y'all with me here?
Yeah.
Notice here, this man is seeking to measure Jerusalem. He's seeking to put Zechariah in a box. Here's a man whose intent is to tell Zechariah how far he can go. But what gives you the authority to tell me what I can do, who I can be, what I can have, where I can live, what I can drive, what I can possess? Who are you to tell me how far I can go? You don't have that authority. Some of us know some people right now who will tell you that you're crazy. They will tell you, listen, you're on up in age. You have no business trying to call yourself getting a degree at this stage in your life. But the question that needs to come back is, who are you? Who are you to tell me that I'm too old to learn? Who are you to tell me that I'm too old to dream? Who are you to tell me that I don't have the capacity to receive my degree? Who are you to tell me that I cannot receive my master's degree? Who are you to tell me that I'm too far up in age to receive my doctorate degree? Who are you to tell me what I cannot be, what I cannot have? As a matter of fact, who I am, the Lord made me. What I have, He gave me. What I know, He taught me. Where I am, He brought me. Everything I have, God gave it to me. And what I'm desiring, God is still going to place it in my hands. Ask your neighbor, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Don't allow people to box you in. He sees a man who's trying to bring on a limitation.
Yes.
A limitation. And people only try to impose limits on those who have vision. Because those without vision are already limited. See, don't help people limit you. Because you got to make up in your mind, Peter Heights, there is no limit to where you're going. You got to